All right, I'm going to do another one on the true Sabbath, the true time the Sabbath takes place, because gosh, I will tell you right now, there are a few topics on Facebook that do not get more pushback. I think the two is going to be grace and the Sabbath. Those two right there, that's what almost 90% of the arguments are about. What grace is and Sabbath. And so you've got what grace is. They have no idea what they're talking about because that's the left, the church. And actually, I'll even say the right doesn't even know what grace is either. But I think like there may be some on the right that actually may know what grace is, but they still do the feast days and stuff like that. They keep the wrong Sabbath, but the left doesn't keep Sabbath and they don't know what grace is. They're just completely lost on everything. So we're going to have to go. I've got, I don't know, 8, 9 verses or so. We're going to have to flip through the Bible since all of them are on my phone and I'm using it. So I'm going to try, hopefully I try to do these to where I'm like not flipping back and forth 400 times. So the first one is Exodus 16:13. Okay. Now I'm going to explain something. I'll explain what it is and then I will show you the scriptures. The true day begins at dawn, right? Everybody takes the scriptures from Exodus because of the way it was worded, the lion pen and the scribes, and they all think the day begins at nighttime. And I will tell you right now, it's the same exact effect that people have that still think the earth is a spinning ball going like 2.5 million miles an hour through nothingness. Like, there is no thinking cap if you do this. You're just opening your gullet and having everybody just shove everything in there, and then you're just like, yeah, all happy, and you're not thinking for yourself, okay? Critical thinking has like, poof, it's gone. It's just gone. So, the Sabbath is Saturday. It's not Sunday. It got changed in 321 AD by Constantine from Saturday to Sunday, Sun God Worship Day. And that was all, I mean, all this like Copernicus, whatever his name is, you know, all this stuff, like all the deception and lies we're under right now in this time started at like, I don't know, 500 to 700 years ago. No, well, I guess the Sunday started. It started since the beginning, but like this generation, you can see from Yeshua's day onward, the deceptions have started to be planted to like move us all into this place we're in right now, in this the tribulation generation. So it does not start. The day does not start in evening. It starts in the morning. All the animals seem to know this. The children know that. Ask your child. Ask your child, when does the day start? Are they going to go nighttime? Come on, man. This is ridiculous. You have to forcefully like go against your programming to believe the day starts at nighttime. I know. I was one of them. I know what this takes. I know what I'm talking about. I was there for... You can actually ask Camille. Me and her had a bit of an argument one time because she was so tired of the back and forth on the Sabbath. Oh, it's Friday night. No. I think it's 12 hours and Saturday now. No, now we're back to nighttime. No, actually, I think it's this. Like, it went back and forth so many times. This is one of the reasons why she had a hard time trusting me with this kind of stuff, is because, like, I was learning. I didn't know the answers to this, and I was trying to figure it out. And of course, I had the spirit of error. I mean, look, people, if you are constantly going back and forth in your ideologies and your theologies and your understanding, and you're just going by what this person says or about what this person says, there's a pretty good chance you have the spirit of error in you. And that means you're not in covenant and you're not doing something right. Because once I got into covenant and I repented and rebuked all that stuff that was in my life, all of a sudden it's clear and I have no more questions. I mean, on topics. Of course, obviously, we're always going to have questions. I was just telling Camille, I think the Father is going to make himself where nobody ever knows the full extent of him. Like, do your children know everything about you? Do you want them knowing everything about you? Or do you want that, like, element of special surprise to where it's like there's stuff you just will never know about the Father because he's that, I don't know. He loves himself that much and is that proud of himself that he does not want his creation knowing everything he knows, right? I mean, you would do the same thing if you were God, I promise you. So anyways, yeah, so the day does not start at nighttime, it starts in the morning. And it's called the day dawning, right? This is what's referred to in Scripture. This is what the beginning of Sabbath is. It's from dawn Saturday to dawn Sunday. I'm sure you can probably hear the chickens out there. So I'll start reading some of these passages to kind of show you. The first one is going to be Exodus 16:13. Let's see here. Yeah, and it came to pass that at evening the quail came up and covered the camp. So this is talking about yeah, it even says I think this is in context to like Friday, right? Because they can't go out and gather food and do stuff like that on the Sabbath. So the quail came unto them in the evening, right? So it would make sense that he would provide the meal in the evening before the Sabbath, because if Sabbath started in the evening, then why would the quail come in the evening? Then he'd be breaking his own commandment. Then you got Exodus 19:15. And he said unto the people, be ready against the third day, come not at your wives. Now this is actually a reference to the key of David, but it shows the day dawning as well, because it says, and it came to pass on the third day in the morning, right? So if you understand the key of David, which that'll be a whole nother video, then you'll understand that it's a sexual fast Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Well, Saturday's the Sabbath. Well, when the Israelites were getting ready to go to the mountain, Moses told them, you have to be holy. Well, that fast is what makes you holy. It's your body, not, physically. It makes you set apart. It makes you clean. Now we're not talking like spiritually holy. So they had to refrain from this. And so on the Sabbath is when they went to the mountain. Well, and it came to pass on the third day of that fast, that would have been Sabbath, in the morning. So there's another reference right there, like when the day begins on Sabbath is the morning. So let's see. And we've got Judges. Yep. Judges 19. That's going to be a fun one to find. Judges is, I'm trying to remember. I think there it is. There we go. Judges 19:9. And I've got the screenshots of the scriptures on my phone with the stuff underlined. So now I'm just writing down the passage, so I'm having to go through it and find the parts. So 9. So verse 9 and verse 26. So verse 9. And when the man rose up to depart, he and his concubine and his servant and his father-in-law and damsel's father said unto him, Behold, now the day draweth towards evening. I pray you tarry all night. Behold, the day groweth to an end. Lodge here, that thine heart may be merry. And tomorrow tomorrow get you early on your way, that thou mayest go home. He's telling you the day ends in the evening at night, and it begins in the morning. It's right there, man. Stuff is not hard to see. Once you get into covenant and you get the spirit of truth, it's like smacking you in the head and asking yourself, you should have had a V8. It's apparent. Now, verse 26. Then came the woman in the dawning of the day and fell down at the door of the man's house where her Lord was till it was light. Like the dawning, light. You see, the day begins, I believe it's 6 o'clock. Because if you learn Hebrew customs, there were 4 watches of the night. And they were 3-hour watches. And it started at 6 p.m. at dusk, and it ended at 6 a.m. The 4th watch was from 3 to 6. So this shows you, again, the day dawning, light, right? Hopefully this is making sense for y'all. Now we got Amos 5:8. Yeah, Hosea's right there too. What was it? Amos. Did I have a Micah? No. Amos. No. These little books are hard to find. There we go. Amos 5:8. Seek him that maketh the 7 stars. Get back in the camera a little bit here. I'm not too far off. And Orion, and turneth the shadow of death into the morning, and maketh the day dark with night. That calleth for the waters of the sea, and poureth them out upon the face of the earth. The Lord is his name. So right there. Anytime you see these little nuggets that say morning, dawn, all this kind of stuff, it's a reference to when the day begins and the day dawning. That's what all these are. I'm gonna mark them off my list so I don't. Hosea 6:3. Let's just write down the way. Where are you? Hosea 6. I already have my bookmark there. It's 3. So Hosea 6:3. Then shall we know, if we follow on to know the Lord, his going forth is prepared as the morning, and he shall come unto as the rain, as the later and former rain unto the earth. His going forth is prepared as the morning. It's another one. So now we get into the New Testament. John 8:12. John 8:12. Then spake Yeshua again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. Day dawning. If you know when the Sabbath is and the day dawning, you're going to be in covenant. If you're doing a fake Sabbath, you are in error. And that means you're probably going to have the spirit of error. Which is why all these people who generally do the Sabbath on the wrong time also do the feast days. And I don't even think I've met anybody in the apostate church that actually even does Sabbath. They think Sunday's the Sabbath, and they go out and get nachos at the Mexican restaurant. It's like they have no idea. So this is almost more aimed at the feast keepers, because see, the reason they're in error is because they do the feast. There could be other sins in there, covetousness, I'm sure, presumptuousness, lots of them like that, covetousness for sure. So this is why a lot of them can't see this stuff. So that was John 8:12. Then you got Luke 24, right back up a little bit. Luke 24:1. Now upon the first day of the week, very early in the morning, they came unto the sepulchre, bringing the spices which they had prepared, and certain others were with them. Now I think there might be one or two other places that talk about this, that go into it a little bit different detail. This is when Mary, on Sunday morning, went to the tomb to check it out. And they found the stone rolled away from the tomb, right? So what I want to get at is upon the first day of the week, that's Sunday. And guess what? Jesus wasn't there. You know what that means? He left on the Sabbath. He was gone 3 days, 3 nights, Wednesday to Sabbath. So again, in the other 3 Gospels, there are, I don't know if it's all 3 of them, but at least 1 or 2 spots. It goes into more detail in this, and it expounds on it in a little different way that may be a little easier to understand, because it actually gives a little more detail into Mary and when she went. 2 Peter 1:19. Yeah, 2 Peter 1:19. 2 Peter. This is always a hard one to find for me because it is like hidden off in there and it's small. 2 Peter. There we go. 2 Peter 1:19. We have also a more secure word of prophecy, whereunto ye do well that ye take heed, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place, until the day dawn, and the day star arise in your hearts. I don't think it gets much more plain than that. And these people, nobody can see this. You can't see it because you have a spirit of error in you. This is why you think the Sabbath starts at nighttime. Like, I don't know. I can't say too much because I was the big dummy too. Because I was a freaking idiot is what I was. Just gobbling up whatever somebody else teach you. The blind leading the blind is exactly what that is. Get to the last one. Revelation 2:28. And I will give him the morning star. It's the morning star, man. It's all a reference to the day dawning. And I will tell you, the reason, I promised Josh I'd hold off on this conversation. It's the whole feast days, because I think we're going to be doing a collab together, possibly today, on this. I've got a lot to say about this, because this, for some reason, the feast day topic is I have a lot better understanding with it than a lot of other stuff for some reason. Maybe it's because that was like the first thing that I started yeah, that's probably what it was. That I've been doing that one the longest, like studying on that one, reading it the longest. So I have the better understanding, and I can see where all the errors are and all the teachers we used to have and watch. So yeah, we'll do another one on that.